How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. Today's subject matter, in the spirit of Black History Month, especially given the fact that it's almost over, I was like, said to myself today, man, I haven't done a Black History Month video in its true context, and we're going to stick to the business aspect because that's what Larry's Anything Goes is all about. So today's subject matter, we're talking about Mr. Alonzo Herndon, entrepreneur extraordinaire, and the time frame that he came up in as an entrepreneur was from 1858 to 1927. Talk about crazy, right? That's before my grandparents' time frame. That's before my great-grandparents' time frame, okay? So that says a lot. During the time when life for African Americans was very, very hard and uncertain, but those tough times created a burning desire to push through the walls that were put around them in order to make something viable happen in their lives. And that is something that I really, truly am really just starting to understand and starting to learn, because to be a successful business owner / entrepreneur, you have to have a burning desire to succeed in life outside of your comfort zone. If you are comfortable and you're not willing to take risks and do not even work hard, and you're not trying to work hard, then more likely then you're not going to really be going to create something successful in your life, okay? Outside of a job. Now, is there anything wrong with having a job? Absolutely not. But if you're in the problem is, and I'm really starting to see this, if you're comfortable and you're not willing to take a risk, it's just like, for the most part, you're not really going to jump outside on the limb and try to have a business because it seems too risky, and it is risky. You're not going to try to be an entrepreneur because you're scared of risk. A lot of people don't even want to invest in the stock market, stocks, bonds, cryptocurrency, gold, like my Carrot Bars gold platform, because they're scared of taking risks. And my mindset is, hey, if you're willing to play the lottery, that's a risk right there. But a lot of people are like, well, that's only $2. Okay, well, use $10 a month to invest in some stocks and bonds and gold. It's like, come on now. It's like you have to be able to take some sort of risk. Everybody can't be a business owner, but everybody can be an investor. I quote that from Dr. Royce Watkins, and I could not agree with that statement even more so. But I digress. As you can see, I get very passionate about this subject matter. Now, have you ever heard of the term starving artist? I know most people have, or someone who is dirt poor, like living on the streets, living in a car. People like Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, Steve Harvey, they went through some, Tiffany Haddish, they went through some serious financial trials and tribulations to go after their dreams. But that's what one has to do if you truly want to do something in this life. If you want to be basic, then just be basic. But if you truly want to be extraordinary, you have to go outside of your comfort zone, and you do have to take risks. And the risk might work, it might not. But at least you can say you did it. That's how I look at it, But I digress. Okay. Now, Mr. Alonzo Herndon was known for being a barbershop entrepreneur and founder and president of Atlanta Life Insurance Company, which was one of the most successful Black-owned insurance companies in the United States of America. And at the time of his death in 1927, he was also Atlanta's wealthiest Black man / citizen, owning more property than any other African American during that time frame. Admired and respected by many, he was noted for his involvement in and support of local institutions and charities devoted to advancing African American business and community life. Now, the crazy thing is that Mr. Herndon was born into slavery, which that's the thing. He was born into slavery on a farm outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Once he was free after the Civil War at age 7, he was his brother, his grandparents, his mother, they were homeless, unfortunately. However, he became a laborer and peddler, helping his family, and they were all sharecroppers, which kept them on a step away from slavery for a couple of years. That's what the sharecropping system was back in those days. As a child, that's why financial literacy and economics is important. That subject matter needs to be as important as entertainment, because if you're not serious about your finances will get serious about you, and it'll ensure you that it holds you captive somewhere financially, because you don't take it serious as you do entertainment and sports. Just a side note. Okay. But as a child, Mr. Herndon displayed an entrepreneurial mindset, utilizing his spare time peddling peanuts, homemade molasses, and axle grease to earn money to support his family, which is an admirable thing. By saving as much money as possible, he left the social circle in order to improve his economic and social condition, which is something most people need to think about doing, because if you don't have a circle of people who have a financial literate mindset, then I think you're in the wrong circle. Just my personal opinion. I say it all the time. You have to be willing to leave your normal day-to-day lifestyle to truly succeed in life. A lot of people join the military. They become something bigger than themselves, and they have to leave their normal day-to-day lifestyle to to learn a different way of life, and how to be better at life, and how to be more competitive in life at the same time as well, mentally and physically. So kudos to the people who serve. Thank you for your service. Mr. Herndon continued to work as a farmhand, making a little bit more money, and began to learn how to become a barber and started cutting his hair as a side hustle, which is very smart, because economically a job will give you enough to live on. But if you do not have the right mindset, which my friend Ronald always says, then you will not get ahead financially. Mindset is everything, right? Now, nothing wrong with having a job. I have a job. Here's the thing. I'm using my job to finance my dreams. I hope you guys are using your jobs outside of, maintaining day-to-day life to finance your dreams. That's the new saying. Nothing wrong with having a job. Just ensure that it finances your dream. And if that job is your dream, then so be it. After doing this for a couple of months, he went to another town and opened up his first barbershop, where his business thrived and created a great reputation. Eventually went to Atlanta and attained a job in one of the biggest African-American barbershops in the country, okay? Mr. Herndon, as they would say today, he was doing it big, okay? He was doing the darn thing, okay? But much respect and kudos to him and his existing family that is still around. After 6 months, he purchased his half interest in the barbershop, becoming a partner. Started as an employee and became a partner. Something to think about, okay? And that's the beauty sometimes of working in a small business. You have a chance to get some sort of ownership in it. So then you're not just an employee, but you're actually a shareholder of some sort. Now that's what I'm talking about. Mr. Herndon partnered up with one of the few black operating barbering establishments since before the Civil War. His barbering business expanded, and by 1904, he owned 3 barbershops in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And the interesting thing is that his whole staff was black, and most of their clients were white, and prominent, important figures from state legislatures, the city councils, the mayors, and prominent business people all at the same time. So that says a lot for that time frame, in my personal opinion, okay? And because for that time period, and that was considered to be weird, crazy, and just basically unheard of. But that's what being an entrepreneur is all about. Providing a service that is needed. Mr. Herndon's success in barbering was spectacular, and his earnings grew. He invested in real estate, which was very in Atlanta, Georgia, and parts of Florida. Eventually, he acquired more than 100 houses and a large block of commercial property on Auburn Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia, and a large estate in Tavares, Florida. I mean, come on now. We're talking about the early 1900s here. Give a digital round of applause for this man doing something like this, okay? At his death, unfortunately, in 1927, his real estate was assessed at nearly $325,000. And I don't know about you, but back in those days, that falls under probably $300 million in a sense, or a couple of $1 million in a sense, but it's still way more money today compared to back in those days. This falls under multiple streams of income, family. Multiple streams of income, that's what it's all about. And that kind of money back then was like acquiring real estate valued at millions of dollars. That's when he decided to enter the insurance industry, filling a need, which was smart, that African Americans weren't getting at the time, which was enough insurance or any insurance at all, because that's what entrepreneurship is all about. Like I said earlier, 1905, he purchased a failing mutual aid association, which he incorporated as the Atlanta's Mutual Insurance Association. With Mr. Herndon playing a pivotal role as president and chief stockholder, the Small Business Association he actually expanded its assets from 5,000 in 1905 to more than 400,000 by 1922. In 1922, the company was recognized as Atlanta Life Insurance Company and achieved legal reserve status, a position enjoyed by only 4 other black insurance companies at the time. The firm grew rapidly in the 1920s, expanding its operations into a half-dozen new states, like including Florida, Kansas, Kentucky, Missouri, Tennessee, Texas. So obviously expansion was on his mind, and he did it. Mr. Herndon also sought to save other failing black enterprises, showing that he didn't forget where he came from. He could have been the type, like you see in a lot of days, that made it out of a certain situation and said, well, forget those people. I worked hard. Those people are peasants. I'm not going to lend a hand out. A hand up, because he didn't lend handouts. He gave hands ups. He gave people opportunities. And that's what entrepreneurs do. They give people, the right ones, opportunities. And that's what he did. Okay. But people have to prove themselves, obviously. So you have to do that crazy thing called work. Because it takes work to be in business, no matter what business you're in, to be an entrepreneur, to say that proudly, no excuses. Leave your emotions to the side, just do the job, as they say, okay? So that's just, like I said, that says a lot. And of course, this thing is acting up again. Sorry, you all, I don't know why this is doing this, but anyways, whenever possible, he reinsured the policyholders and merged the faltering businesses into Atlanta and conserved confidence in black businesses. And that's, like I said, that's another great thing. The fact that Mr. Herndon didn't forget where he came from. It's very, because he acquired a lot of wealth, okay, for himself, and he brought with it a great deal of social responsibility, and the African American community looked at him for leadership in a number of areas. He was associated with some of the leading black intellectual and political leaders in the country and participated in several organizations at the time. In 1900, Mr. Herndon joined the Atlanta delegates attending the founding meeting of the National Negro Business League, convened by Booker T. Washington in Boston. And when W.E. Du Bois called a meeting of selected black leaders to organize the Niagara movement, Mr. Herndon was among the 29 men who attended the actual founding meeting in 1905. And basically stating that you are who you associate with. And I do not know about you all, but I have wasted enough time with people who do not want to do anything significant outside of be normal and be basic. And if a person like Mr. Herndon could make something out of himself from being someone's personal property and then being homeless and then still being stuck in the labor system, in a sense they call it the caste system, then what is your excuse? Yes, the world is way different now compared to back in those days, but opportunities are still endless and life is a lot easier compared to how people had it back then. A reasonable person can agree to that, okay? I'm just call like I see it, okay? The opportunities are endless, and if you have the will and determination and the right mindset and you're around the right people, that's the thing people have to take into account. If you have the right mindset, but the people that you're around are talking about things that have nothing to do with your goals and aspirations, it's that crazy thing called get rid of them, eliminate them, hit the eject button. Adios, vaya con Dios, go with God. It's like, be done with it, because they will hold you back no matter how you look at them. Unless, it's like people will hold you back. So hopefully you guys didn't like the video. Sorry for the error popping up again. I'm gonna have to work on that again. But hopefully you guys like the video. Please like, share, subscribe. And hey family, don't forget to check out the Care Bar system that's down in the description and look into it. Plenty of videos on it on YouTube in regards to having your own affiliates, sign up as an affiliate, having your own gold and being able to refer people so they can buy gold and refer people, and everybody's getting money together, because this is just another way with Care Bars International to keep currency in your circle. That's what it's all about. That's what I'm all about from 2020 and beyond. And always remember, you can't get fired if you own the company. Take care, family.